What were you talking to Dak about on the sideline that you can share?
The most important thing that I think we need to gather. I had already heard that Dak was very upset because Dak's a perfectionist. He's a perfectionist. He wants to be great at everything, and he drives himself. And I was like, that's a great thing. But I heard he was really upset with his win, with the way he had played, and he wasn't happy because the offense didn't do what they needed to do. My experience, I thought I needed to share something with Dak here. So I said to Dak, I said, hey, when I grabbed him on the side, I said, hey, listen, you may not be totally happy. I can get it. I get it. You can go and work on that. But right now, we just had 3 of the last 4 weeks, we were down. I mean, we lost 3 of the last 4 games. And do you know what it's like when you lose a game? The locker room, it's just been around the locker room, it's dead. Everybody is worrying, and all you're doing is regurgitating all the bad stuff, and the coaches are overcoaching. I told you to go 15 yards. You went 13 and a half just for it. And the players are coming back to the locker room like, man, coach tripping, man. What on? You know what I mean? All of that goes on in the locker room when you're losing.
Yeah.
And I said to Dak, Dak, I understand you're not happy, but we need to have that good feeling in the locker room again. We got to win. We're getting a win. Let's make sure we're feeling good again. Let's get back to feeling like we were feeling in the early part of the season where you're feeling good in the locker room. Now, Deion was saying stuff. When Deion said, you look good, you feel good, you play good, you pay good. It's some reality to that.
Yeah.
It's some reality to that. You know what I mean? And it's biblical. As a man thinketh, so is he. It's biblical. So I was telling Dak, let's not get overly crazy about this game. This is a great win. Let's get in the locker room and have some fun. Let's get back to that good feeling again because we need that going to the stretch run. You don't want to go into the stretch run thinking, oh, man, we're still not playing right. We're still not doing this. Let's start projecting good things. And I believe he received that because he said, yeah, I never thought about that, Mike. I got you. You're right. You know what I mean? We needed to feel good about it. We need to feel good about that win.
But it wasn't a good win, Mike. It wasn't a great win. That was a frustrating win. No.
Sean, do you hear what you just said?
Yeah.
What in the hell is how can you even put your mouth, let your lips touch each other, and come out saying it wasn't a good win?
They got lucky.
What the hell is not a good win?
They got lucky that Taysom Hill threw him 4 picks. This offense is still not playing well. They couldn't stop Taysom Hill running. I mean, I'm not feeling great about them as an elite contender, and I was hoping I would after the other night.
And that's what I'm saying. You're hitting exactly what I'm talking about. You're not going to feel great when you don't feel great. I need them to get back to feeling great so they can really feel great and play great. It's not going to come separate of each other. I'm telling you, and remember when I told you guys every time we lost in twos, and I could never figure it out. I was trying to pull us out of it. I could never figure it out. This is what it was. Because we would lose one game, and then we go into the next week feeling bad about the last game, and overthinking, overanalyzing, over-breaking it down, and we lose the next game. Until we have to come out of that funk, and we had to come out of the funk with the way we feel before we hit the field to feel better about it. I'm telling you, man, And when I told Dak that, that's exactly where we need to be. We need to get back. And because it's Dallas, and everybody talks about us so much, when you lose a game or you don't play great, everybody's pointing out every situation and every issue, as opposed to taking it as a win. We have to monitor this and make sure you receive the victory and try to get yourself feeling good again, like we were in the beginning of the season. We're on the stretch 5 right now. Usually be last 4 games of the season. but since it's the extra game, I like to call it now the stretch five. And we got to get back to where you were in the beginning of the year to make for this stretch five as you head into it.
Michael Irvin, the playmaker, joined us here at 105 through the Fan. Jerry kind of, I don't want to say threw him under the bus, but intimated that the wide receivers may not be running the best routes, and that's what makes Dak look like he's inaccurate. How much of that actually happens where, the quarterback's missing throws, and in reality, maybe it's just the wide receivers aren't running, the routes at the right depth or being where the QB expects them to be?
Well, yeah, that's a hell of a question. Because,
I know.
because everything is set. Okay, if I'm going to run a 4 route, I got to run a 20-yard in. You know what I mean? So I'm going to measure 20 yards. But if there's my depth of my route, according to the timing of Troy drops back, is when I get to 20 yards, I cut across. I should catch that ball about 2 yards inside the numbers when Troy throws it. He doesn't even have to see me when he throws it. He should be able to throw it right there. That's where I should be, if all things are clean. But if there's somebody in front of me and they're pressing me, now the 20 yards may come to 19. Or they even be 18 yards because it depends on how hard or how much time I spend at the line of scrimmage getting off the ball before I get into their route. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I have to measure how many yards did that time take at the line of scrimmage that I have to take off at the top of this route. If I spend too long here, I got to take 2 yards off. If I didn't spend too long, I maybe take 1 yard off. But I got to make sure the timing is correct. So that's why I say it's a tough question, a hard question, because there's so many variables that change things that you ultimately set. We set the parameters. I'm going to drop back these many steps. You're going to run a 20-yard square in. But then the variables may happen. Somebody pressed me. You know what I mean? When Troy took the snap, somebody blitzed him. All of these things change the routes. So when Jerry said they're having issues, that's so hard to determine without understanding all the variables that are going on the football field.